Hello and welcome back to another edition of Football Adda. So far, you have seen us coming back to after a brief hiatus of a season to cover Euro 2024. We have covered the preview of the entire tournament, and we have also covered the groups A and B. Today, we will be covering Group C and D and looking at how the teams stack up and what are the predictions for those groups. In addition to Krishnendu, today we have Shomajit along with us. Shomajit is an avid Dutch fan, and it is pertinent to note here that the last time Germany or West Germany, so to say, hosted Euro on its own, it was the Orange Brigade which had the top honors. Shomajit, any fond memories of 1988?
Yeah, so 88, that 88 final was my first international game, international football game that I watched. Obviously, at that time, the one player who was prominently visible on the pitch was Ruud Gullit because of his iconic looks and, of course, his footballing prowess as well. And that kind of made me fall in love with this team. Like many of my generation are Argentina fans because just a couple of 2 years before that, they saw another iconic player, Maradona, lift the cup with sublime performances. But for me, it came 2 years late. Maybe if I had started my journey a couple of years earlier, I would have been an Argentina fan right now. But yeah, as as fate would dictate of the Netherlands football team. And from 88 onwards, it's been a it's been a journey of near misses. They have played one major final and several semi-finals, but uh, they kind of been eliminated either by a solitary goal or by penalties. So let's see whether this year it will be different.
Right, right. And we will need your insight, especially for a Group D, which is potentially a very tough one. But turning our attention towards Group C, we have Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, and England. So Slovenia is a team that's shown resilience and skill to secure their spot. And this is they're marking their return to a major international tournament for the first time since the 2010 World Cup. And Italian fans will remember that group match with Slovenia with a horror. But they managed to, oust Italy in that 2010 World Cup. Denmark are the 1992 Euro champions and the semi-finalists of Euro 2020 or 2021, however you want to call it. Of recent times, Denmark has put very strong performance on the European stage, and they would aim to leverage that performance in this Euro 2. Serbia is participating for the first time in a major tournament since they broke up with Macedonia. But that's a surprise because Serbia has a squad which features a lot of notable names from top European clubs. So they have a history of fluctuating fortunes. We will discuss what we can expect from this Serbia team in Euro 2024. And finally, we have the runners-up of Euro 2020, England, which is filled with young talent and experienced players. And they have been, probably the best team talent wise, or the second best team talent wise in some of the recent tournaments, but they haven't just had that final push at the final day.
No, they have that very important stuff called Garrett's Southgate, which has stopped them from winning anything.
Yeah. So let's start with England. Easy group, Krishnendu. What do you think is this group? I mean, will there be any dangers posed to England's qualification from this group?
it's not as easy as it looks. Denmark is a solid European team. It's a kind of team that can stop England from winning. I don't expect Denmark to beat England, but there is a chance England might drop points. Serbia is a tricky team. You can say, yeah, they can. England we should be beating Slovenia. But the other two, I can't say England is definitely going to like crisply go through the round of 16. But yeah, I have to admit, if England doesn't top the group, then of course we know who to blame.
Right, right. You agree with that estimation of England, Somajit?
So I think England obviously are runaway favorites. They have been one of the form teams in the last few international tournaments that they have played. But yeah, I think this English team is even stronger than the one we saw in the last few
Yeah,
tournaments.
it's a stronger team. Yeah.
Declan Rice has matured a lot. They have more potent options apart from Harry Kane. They have Ollie Watkins, who is in excellent form. Their midfield has seen the emergence of Jude Bellingham as a global superstar, we can say, of football. And Kobe Mainu is also, I think these three will start. So I see England to winning all three games in this group. Anything else will be a surprise for me.
Let me come back to England again. Krishnendu, for people who follow Serie A are flabbergasted that Fikayo Tomori still doesn't find any even sentimental mention with Gareth Southgate. How do you see that?
Southgate doesn't travel to Italy to watch Tomori. Problem with Southgate is he trusts a few players. To be honest, we are talking about Tomori. Everton fans can talk about Jared Brunthwaite. Should have been in the team, not in the squad completely. Southgate has gone with Lewis Dunk. Lewis Dunk is a solid defender, but he is the last time he played for England, he made a big mistake, and England conceded a goal. So Tomori is a miss. You can say Rashford is a miss. Marcus Rashford didn't have a great season. As a Manchester United fan, I know Rashford didn't have a great season. But Rashford provides something to this England team that they are missing right now. They do not have that pace down the left-hand channel. They do not have any player who can do that, what Rashford can do. And if anybody remembers the last World Cup, Rashford was the highest goal scorer for England, and he played 5 minutes against France. Of course, thanks to Sir Gareth Southgate. So yeah, there are there's stuff missing from this team. Another problem with this English team is, other than Declan Rice, they do not have another defensive midfielder. We used to complain about Southgate is they used to place Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, two defensive midfielders. Now he has no other option but to be attacking, because Declan Rice is the only traditional defensive midfielder that this team has. And even Declan Rice is not that kind of destroying the defensive midfielder that, Declan Rice is more of a number 8 than a number 6. And I am worried about the lack of midfield protection that this squad have. And some of the defenders are not fit. Luke Shaw hasn't played all season, but he has gone with the England squad. Harry Maguire, the most consistent England defender over the last few years. I might not like him as a Manchester United player, but he has been the most consistent England defender for the last few years. He's missing out because of injury. So there are issues with this England team that might not seem apparent from when you look at the squad, but when you start putting the team together, you can find there are issues with this England team that Southgate has to battle with over the course of
And I think another big miss will be Ben White, because he has been one of the best right backs, not just in England but in the world in the last season.
Yeah, but the problem with Ben White has a problem with the England coaching staff, and that hasn't been sorted out. Should have been sorted out, but hasn't been sorted out.
Okay, let's come to the other teams. Will Denmark comfortably finish second, or do you feel that Denmark can give England a run for their money? Maybe if they draw with England and, then there is a goal difference kind of a scenario. Can Denmark finish top?
I will go first. So my prediction is Denmark will not qualify for the next round from this
Wow.
group. Uh, I see one of Serbia or Slovenia springing a surprise on Denmark. That is my prediction. So yeah, the
Okay.
answer to the original question is kind of redundant.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Krishnendu?
I am Denmark is one of those teams who are very good at getting those important draws, and I expect them to win one of the games for sure, either Serbia or Slovenia, and then get a draw. And if that means you get 4 points might get you through as a third place team. Denmark is an aging team. It's not there. Christian Eriksen is still the most important player in the squad. They have a good young striker. I'm not going to name him. He's a Manchester United player, so I might be biased. It's a good young striker.
Don't jinx
But
it.
yeah, I'm not jinxing him. He's a pretty good young striker. But the problem with this Denmark team is I can see signs of aging. But as I said about Croatia, they will find a way to get from last season. They'll find a way.
If they play anything like they played in the last Euros, they should comfortably go through. But I don't see that happening this time.
Okay. Okay. So let me come to the other two teams. Shomajit, who do you prefer between Slovenia and Serbia, and why?
See, Serbia has been a little bit of an enigma when it comes to international tournaments. So they always, at least the last many editions that they have qualified in, they have always come with a competent team with players playing in some of the bigger leagues, but ultimately they managed to mess it up somewhat like another team we will cover in the next group. So uh, yeah, on paper I think Serbia has enough firepower to compete with Denmark for the second spot, but yes, that there's always a question mark in terms of temperament when it comes to that team.
Hmm. Okay, so let me put you on the spot. What is your group prediction?
Group prediction is England top, uh, Serbia second, Denmark third, Slovenia fourth, and that third spot qualification is bit of a lottery. So I cannot really say whether the third place team will qualify or not. But yeah, Denmark will not qualify as one of the top two teams.
Okay, Krishnendu?
England first, Serbia second, Denmark third.
Okay, okay. I do agree that Serbia could be the dark horse, potentially upsetting the group dynamics with their attacking prowess. And Slovenia will probably face an uphill battle, but will compete fiercely like we know they did in 2010 in every match, maybe pulling off a surprise here or there. But I still feel comfortably Denmark and England are the favorites to advance from Group C, given their depth, recent performances, and experience in international tournaments. And between the two, I would pick England to be the top. So it will be England, Denmark, Serbia, and then Slovenia. Because Slovenia will be such a, bug in everybody's backside, I think the third place team from this group may not qualify because it will not be a like a rough shot over. I mean, three teams running rough shot over one team. So
Right.
I think only two teams will qualify from Group C, and my predictions are Denmark and England.
And right, and also apart from the matches featuring England, we could potentially see a few draws here. So that will also bring down the chances of the third place team.
Right. Let's now go to Group D. Group D is Poland, Netherlands, Austria, and France. France are probably the team of this tournament, previous whatever tournament you take, like last 4, 5, 6 years. I think France has been the team of that tournament. France not winning something is an upset. So Shomojit, can Netherlands upset and become the toppers from Group D?
See, the Netherlands team on paper is actually quite solid. And even if we consider that some of the injuries and some of the other absences due to selection that cannot be explained by anybody other than their coach. So yeah, I mean, if this Netherlands team was under a competent coach, I think they would have given
Okay.
France a very tough fight. Uh, Maybe they would have lost, but because France, as you said, is in a class of its own, one of the best teams in the world right now with an incredible depth of talent. Probably the second team can also
Yeah.
qualify for a tournament. But yes, I think with Ronald Koeman as the coach, I don't see uh, Netherlands beating France to the
Yeah.
top spot.
Yeah, let me just talk about a little bit about the the club, the teams. I spoke about France, Poland. They're known for their resilient spirit and the quality they bring to their pitch. They have navigated through the playoffs to secure their spot, and hence they're eager to prove their mettle. And just remember that Poland still has one Robert Lewandowski as the captain. Even at the age of 35, he can still pull some strings. The other team is Austria, which is steadily making their mark in European football. Austria's team is very strong contingent of Bundesliga players, and they're looking to go beyond the round of 16, which they already achieved in the last Euros. And Netherlands, like I have already spoken so far, is really a very formidable force. They have a great tactical nous and exceptional talent. But again, can we see any upset in this group, or is it straightforward France and Netherlands? Krishnendu.
It's between Netherlands and France, I agree. I was going through the Netherlands squad a few minutes back. There is enough talent for this team to even compete with France. But I agree with Shomjit. Ronald Koeman is basically the Dutch Gareth Southgate. So like, it's a problem. It's a problematic coach that they have. Uh, I'm of course France are the favorite. They are the incredible depth and talent. They can, as Samujita said, their second team will also qualify. It's a brilliant squad. But I'm going through the Netherlands squad. There's enough in them. Of course, a couple of injuries. Kevin Cook Miners was in brilliant form from Atalanta last season. Missing him in this tournament would be a problem. But there is enough. Kevin Cook Miners missing, Frankie de Jong missing, two incredibly talented midfielders. Taking these two midfielders out of any team in this world is going to affect. But there is still enough talent in it to qualify as second place, as second team from this group. Enough talent in the Netherlands squad.
Okay, so
and,
you
and,
are
and the
discounting.
manager in his supreme judgment has decided not to take one player who I want to mention, Joshua Zirkzee. So
Yes,
I think he is one of the
I
stars in the making, but somehow Wout Weghorst.
I think Ronald Koeman is not tactically adept enough to actually use Joshua Zirkzee. He is not Thiago Motta. That's the problem. Ronald Koeman is not Thiago.
So let me ask you, Krishnendu, let me put you on the spot. Are you discounting your former club manager, Mr. Rangnick, and his bunch of Austrians who actually took Italy, the reigning champions, to the extra time in the last Euro?
I'm not saying I'm not discounting them. Austria are one of the favorites to qualify as third place team. But I do not see them getting ahead of France and Netherlands. Of course, Austria is one team that can cause an upset against Netherlands. They can beat Netherlands for sure. But looking at the quality of both the squads, I'm putting Netherlands up front. But of course, if I have to count Rangnick versus Koeman, I would rate Rangnick as a better coach than Koeman, to be honest. If Netherlands doesn't qualify, it's because of Koeman, not because they do not have enough talent.
Because Austria under Ralph Rangnick's tactical guidance
I've been in very good form.
They bring discipline and cohesion. I mean, they are much more German than the German team that will be taking part. Okay. So they will play a lot more like, like you expect the classic German teams to play. Finally, Shomajit, anything to expect from Poland?
No, so Poland is again one of those teams I mentioned when I was talking about Serbia. So they tend to disappoint in tournaments. Given the strength of Netherlands and France, as well as Austria being a team that does well or expected to do well, I don't see Poland causing much of a upset in any of the games.
So what is your Group D final looking like?
France to top, Netherlands to qualify as second place team. Probably Austria would uh, qualify as a third place team if they end up third, because I see them at least defeating Poland. And if they can get a point out of the remaining two games, they will definitely qualify. Otherwise, also, I think they would have a decent chance qualifying on third spot.
Krishnendu?
France, and I would go with Austria for second, and Netherlands will qualify as third place team from this group.
Yeah, so predicting outcomes I find this is a pretty balanced group, pretty competitive group, and but only the depth and quality of France is like up and over everything else. We cannot even like Shomji, like you said, that the players that France have left back at home could come, form a team, and still make the next round. So that's France. So unless they implode, which is a very low chance, I don't think France, cannot help but be the toppers here. The battle for the second spot could be very intense. And I agree, Netherlands has the pedigree and the talent to edge out their rivals, but the Netherlands are also very unpredictable. And what Krishnendu was pointing towards is probably that usually we have seen, like in a different sport, our neighbors start slowly. In cricket, that's what I'm talking about. Netherlands also, and in football, Italy starts slowly. Netherlands also perhaps historically has never started on fifth gear. So we may see the greater rigor, greater discipline Austria team pulling off a few, surprises here and there. I still feel all three teams will qualify. France as the toppers, and between Netherlands and Austria, whoever doesn't whoever is second or third, both second and third will qualify. And I don't think Poland will put up much of a challenge, which is why I'm predicting the third place team from here to go into the next round. So that's about our Group D. We have so far covered 4 groups. That leaves Group E and F, which we'll cover in our next in the next session. Thanks a lot, Krishnendu and Shomujit, for joining us, and thanks a lot for being with everyone who is watching this. Please subscribe to the channel and like and share this video and share it with your friends. We will be back again with another episode of European Football Adda. Thanks a lot.